Hi, I'm Tyler, and welcome to another episode of my Christian Music Week reviews. Each week I take 5 releases, albums, EPs, or singles, and after I listen to them all week, I come back here and I review them. I share what I think about them. So without further ado, let's get to this week's first release. Lauren Daigle's new single, Hold On To Me. Lauren Daigle's new single, Hold On To Me. Let's talk about it. So sound-wise here we have piano, drum, hand clapping, organ, and a choir. And as for the lyrics here, the lyrics talk about how when we're in the dark and feel like we're about to break, she talks about how when she's in the dark and feels like she's about to break, God will hold on to her. And by the way, that's true for all of us, right? When we're broken down and in the dark, God will hold on to us. Up next, Kirk Franklin's Tiny Deck's NPR concert. Kirk Franklin's Tiny Deck's NPR concert, let's talk about it. So before I talk about it, let me just say this came as a request from one of my viewers. Jake, thanks for requesting it. I don't typically do concert reviews here unless it's a live album, but since somebody requested it, I figure I would review it anyways. So thanks for requesting it. I enjoyed it, and let's dive into the sound of this thing. So, overall, Kirk, by the way, is pretty energetic. He gets his groove on here, and definitely does a good job performing here. His backup singers are pretty good too. The people that sing with him are pretty good as well. Sound-wise here we have piano and drum. And as for the lyrics here, because, right, on my show we gotta talk lyrics, let's dive into it song by song. So, Love Theory talks about how God's love has saved him, and now he wants to love nobody but God. Melodies from Heaven talks about melodies of heaven raining down God's presence. Silver and Gold talks about rather having Jesus than silver and gold. And then I Smile talks about how even when it looks down, he smiles because he knows God is working. Up next, Pat Barrett's new album. Pat Barrett of Housefire's new album, Act Justly, Walk Humbly, Love Mercy. Let's talk about it. So, stylistically here, we have synth, acoustic guitar, electric guitar, bass, drum, piano. And as for the lyrics here, touches on a couple of themes. Talks about how God's love through Christ's blood has set us free. I think, though, the overriding theme of the album is following God every step of the way, day by day. Up next, Maverick City Music's new EP, Jubilee. Maverick City Music's new EP, Jubilee. Let's talk about it. So sound-wise here we have here piano, drum, organ, and also sounds like the choir as well. Nice sound, but sometimes the songs can really drag out, so that's my take on it. Nice sound, but songs do go on a little long, but that's just my take. And as for the lyrics here, it touches on a few different themes. Talks about how God restores from the ruins, the freedom found in Jesus' blood cleansing us. And also talks about how God has been faithful over and over. Up next, our last release for today, Terrian's debut EP. So before I dive into my review of Terrian's new EP, Genesis of Terrian, which is her debut EP, and yes, she is from Toby Mac's Diverse City. Before I get into the review of this, though, let me just say this came across as a request from Jake as well. Thanks, Jake, for requesting another good release this week. This was a good debut EP from Terrian. Blended pop, R&B, and hip-hop elements. She even rapped on the opening track. Instrumentally, here we have piano, synth, bass, electric, and bass guitar. And as for the lyrics here, good lyrics here touches on a few different themes. Asks God to give her that joy beyond feelings. Fixing our eyes upon Jesus where he leads with his light until he takes us home. And also encourage us to love the people in our lives well, even when it may be hard and painful sometimes. Well, that's it for this week. Come back next week for 5 more releases. If you like what you saw in this video, please subscribe. Also, if you have any thoughts on today's releases, or what I may have said about them, let me know that in the comments below. Also, be sure to check out the playlist section for this month's edition of my Music Muffin Streams playlist. Got some good stuff on there this month from artists like Matthew West, Aaron Schust, Torrin Wells, Big Daddy Weeb, and others. So go and check that out if you're interested. Well, I'll go now. See you next week. Bye!